In a quiet mountain village nestled in Pakistan's Pashtun region, young Haris tends to his small flock with bare feet and a heart full of dreams. As Eid al-Adha approaches, the village buzzes with excitement. Neighbors proudly parade their goats, cows, and camels for Qurbani, a symbol of sacrifice and devotion. Haris watches from afar, his eyes reflecting both wonder and quiet longing. His only companion is a frail little lamb, and at home waits his ailing mother, unable to work or celebrate like the others. Despite having so little, Haris doesn't envy the others, he wishes only to give, not receive. Sitting alone with his lamb, he gently strokes its head and whispers, "One day, I'll give the biggest Qurbani of all with my heart." It's not the size of his offering that matters to him, but the love behind it. This quiet moment of hope and innocence marks the beginning of a journey where Haris's pure intentions and selfless heart will lead to something far greater than he ever imagined. His small world is filled with big dreams, and in that simplicity lies the kind of sacrifice that touches lives and inspires hearts across all boundaries. A few days before Eid, the village bazaar is alive with color and chatter, but Haris walks quietly through the crowd, clutching his small bundle of lunch, a single piece of bread wrapped in cloth. Amid the noise, he notices an old man sitting alone near the well, his eyes distant and tired. This is Rahim Baba, known in the village as the man who lost his only son years ago and now lives in silence and sorrow. Without hesitation, Haris sits beside him and offers half his bread. Surprised by the gesture, Rahim Baba hesitates, then accepts with a trembling hand. They share the meal in silence, broken only by Haris's gentle words and bright smile. That simple act of kindness becomes a routine Haris visits every day, bringing stories, laughter, and the warmth of companionship. One day, Rahim Baba smiles, really smiles. For the first time in years. He touches Haris's hand and says, "You've given me more joy than gold could buy." It's in this moment that something shifts. Haris, with nothing but a kind heart, offers what many forget, the gift of love and presence. And for Rahim Baba, that changes everything. Eid morning dawns with golden light over the village prayer ground. Families gather in their finest clothes, standing proudly beside large animals prepared for Qurbani. The air is thick with excitement and reverence. Haris walks in quietly, barefoot as always, leading his small, thin lamb on a frayed rope. Some villagers glance his way, then laugh. "That's barely enough for a meal," one man scoffs. Haris lowers his eyes but keeps walking, holding the rope tighter. Before the laughter can spread, the village imam raises his hand. His voice is calm but firm. He reminds the crowd of the true meaning of Eid al-Adha. Of Prophet Abraham's willingness to sacrifice his beloved son, not for the size of the offering, but for the depth of faith and sincerity. "It is not the animal," he says, "but the heart that matters most." The crowd falls silent. With trembling hands, Haris steps forward and offers his lamb. In that moment, Rahim Baba, tears in his eyes, rises from the back. He walks forward and places an envelope on the altar, his late son's untouched savings. "This is for the poor," he says softly. Haris reminded me what sacrifice truly means. And everything changes. That evening, the village gathers under a sky full of stars. A long table stretches through the courtyard, lined with plates of food made possible by Rahim Baba's generous gift. For the first time, rich and poor sit side by side, sharing stories, laughter, and gratitude. At the center sits Haris, wide-eyed and quiet, beside his smiling mother, her eyes filled with pride and peace. The imam stands and raises his voice gently over the chatter. "Today, a young boy reminded us all that true Qurbani is not about how much we give, but how deeply we care." He places a hand on Haris's shoulder. Sometimes, the smallest lamb can carry the biggest heart. The villagers nod, their hearts stirred. The mocking voices from earlier are now silent, replaced with respect, humility, and warmth. Haris glances up at his mother, and for the first time, feels not like the poor shepherd boy, but someone who gave something truly meaningful. And as laughter rings out under the stars, the message of Eid shines brighter than ever, that love, kindness, and selflessness are the greatest sacrifices of all.